The Chief's Chair. My sister-in-law and I were walking down the dusty footpath from the hotel to the bus stop. Malawi is so much like other African nations, dusty, hot, but filled with people who, when they smile, they light up the day like the warmth of the sun. We came to some roadside stalls where people were selling things for tourists. Malawi has lots of beautiful things and beautiful woodwork. I saw in one of the stalls a chair, low to the ground, which had some carvings of fish on it. I knew my wife would love the fish carvings, but it was light wood, unfinished. And so I turned to the vendor, a young man of about 18 or 19. "How much?" I asked. "How much can you pay?" he asked, smiling broadly at me. "But this is not ebony," I said, trying to let him know that it was probably not worth very much. Ebony is rare, blackwood, and expensive. "Oh no, not ebony. Most ebony in Africa is just black shoe polish," he said, laughing. So honest, I thought. Well, then his friend, about the same age, they also gathered around. "So, if I buy this, you put shoe polish on it, and you make it look real?" I asked. "Make it very pretty." "My wife likes fish," I said. "This chief's chair, I make it very pretty. Wife like much. She happy, and if wife happy, you happy, no?" he said, laughing again. His friends also were smiling and laughing and clapping their hands in amusement. And then they were looking at my young sister-in-law. "Oh no, not my wife. She's my wife's younger sister." "My wife very pretty lady too, special lady," I said. "She likes fish. You make nice for us, I pay you good money." "How much?" I said to him. Well, we settled on a fair price, and I paid him. And that was where the odd thing happened. I assumed that now that he had his money, he and his friend would simply slap on some shoe polish on the wood and rush me out of there. But I was very wrong about these young men. Instead, they began very carefully sanding the wood until it was perfect, then applying the shoe polish so tenderly, like they were handling a baby. Their love for their work was so obvious, but it took over an hour, and we had to get on our way. Time was getting short, and the hour was getting late. "Very pretty chair? Good job? Fine, fine. Okay, fine," I said, trying to hurry them along. "Oh yes, we make very nice chair. Best chair," he responded. Finally, after over an hour, they were done. "Excuse me, but can you just wrap it in some newspaper so I can carry it back to the country I live in?" I asked, expecting them to just wrap it with a local newspaper they had in their vendor stall. "Oh yes, we wrap it nice. Your wife like nice wrap." And then they began looking around the adjoining area for cardboard and string and paper, and we kept talking. We realized that one of the young men that we were talking to was coughing, and the other looked very weak. They must be sick. How are you feeling? I asked. Been sick long time, very long time, he said. And then my sister-in-law called me aside. These two young men, she said, have AIDS. They're dying. She whispered quietly to me. Look at the lesions, the sores, she said. She was working in a rural hospital in Malawi and knew what she was talking about. She looked like she was going to cry. I felt like crying myself. It seemed so sad to both of us. Those young men were such young men. It was such a waste. Well, thank you. Thank you for all your artwork. Thank you for the rapping too, was all I could say to these young men who were dying. Oh, no problem. Make your wife happy, make me happy, he said again. They collected cardboard, which was apparently hard to find, and they finally found some twine, very strong twine. And I saw the young man paint another older man for the twine. And then he began wrapping, but not in a hurry. He folded it very neatly, and he began to wrap this beautiful chief's chair just like he was making Japanese origami. And he tied the string, not just once, but maybe 20 to 30 times in various directions. It was complicated, but so beautiful. And he even made a handle out of cardboard so I could carry it. But that took another hour. Well, during that time, we asked them about their lives. They said very little. I asked if I could pray for their shop and bless it, and they consented. Yet all through the time, as my patience wore thin, for I thought surely I would miss my only bus out of there, I could see them working as hard as they could, so carefully, and I realized it was with great love. They were showing me their love in the only way they knew how. Oh, so beautiful wrapping. Chief's chair, beautiful, I said, really meaning it. They smiled so broadly and looked at the ground. Well, I tried to hand them money. I tried to give them money for the string and for the wrapping, and to pay them for all the work and time and loving care they had put into wrapping this chief's chair. But no, sir, wrapping free, wrapping gift from us, he said shyly. Gift for your missus. And as we walked away, I turned to my sister-in-law and I said, how much longer do you think these young men will have to live? Won't make it to the new year, she said, tears in her eyes. And as I carried the dearly wrapped treasure, I knew I was not just some tourist carrying a package, but that I was carrying a gift of love from some new friends. Such beautiful and perfect wrapping, don't you think? Don't you agree?